Welcome to 5 Star Weekly. MLS released the player salaries and people are not happy. We get into all that and more coming up. Before we get into it, become part of the notification squad by hitting the bell next to the subscribe button on YouTube. Welcome to the show, 5 Star fam. I'm AJ, and unfortunately, Atlanta United lost 3-1 over the midweek to... What the fuck? There we go. In 3, 2... Welcome to the show, 5 Star fam. I'm AJ, and unfortunately, Atlanta United lost on Wednesday to the Columbus Crew. It was a third straight away loss, but yes, we will get into that very briefly and have some news to talk about. But before we do, let's get some major love to our loyal Patreon fam, most notably Gavin, Jordan, Niall, Andrew, Chris, Nick, and Jeff. Thank you guys so much as always. But yes, let's get into that match review, and before we do, let's give some love to our new sponsor. This segment is brought to you by Giant Sports Cards. For passionate collectors of every level, from rookies to veterans, Giant Sports Cards is the modern day sports card shop that celebrates your love of the game, because only Giant brings the fun, treats every customer like an MVP with their GOAT level of customer service, delivers a game-changing shopping experience through technologies and amenities such as their Ultimate Collector's Cave retail shop, and offers the hottest cards at the lowest prices. Make sure to use our code FANTV and get 10% off your order. Check out Giant Sports Cards today at giantsportscards.com. But yes, Atlanta United hit the road for the third of 5 straight away matches, and unfortunately, third straight loss on the road, this time 3-1, and it's a place where Columbus Crew haven't lost this season, and Atlanta United have not won an away match this year. But yeah, we were without a ton of players, notably Derek Williams, of course, Stian Gregerson as well. So both are veteran center backs. Efrain Morales had to play the sweeper role in the middle of that back three, where Matt Edwards and also Luis Abram also played. But you also had where it's a very makeshift midfield as well, to a degree, where Schleich, Click can't last 90 minutes, it seems, and had to be subbed off at halftime. And you also saw where, Emmanuel Latte, Miggy were back into the squad. Saba did not start. Brooks Lennon started at right wing back. But yeah, it just seems like, whatever lineup we put out there, they just can't play for an entire 90 minutes. And this time, the first half was absolutely horrendous. And 3 goals scored against us. It was pretty much shot city. Columbus Crew were having a field day. They essentially, they were peppering our goal. Braguzan had to make a number of good saves to even try to keep us in the match. The first goal happened in the 28th minute, and it was too easy, unfortunately. They sliced us like hot butter, or a hot knife through butter. That's how the metaphor goes. Basically, they really just waltz right through us time and time again. And even when we kind of shepherded them to maybe in an impossible angle, they were still able to score against us pretty much from the byline. So yeah, it was at moments where Braguzan making a good save, it just wasn't enough sometimes, because they just kept coming at us. Played in our half for a majority of that half, and it really had a lot of people turning off the television. And I don't blame them, because with the the patterns that we've seen this season, it very much does not instill any belief. And even when it looks like the players are trying, because it doesn't seem like they're not, but heads are dropping. And it is very difficult for them to, without, I think, somebody that can kind of wake them up in the middle of the park to make sure that, hey, yeah, like, we can't allow them to do this time and time again. I mean, Bragazan, as the goalkeeper, as the captain, can only say so much from the back. And, of course, at that point, you know, it's too late. It's too late if they're already in the box. I would say, I mean, you know, Bragazan, obviously not a spring chicken, but these goals, again, are not on him. He kept us in the match for the most part. So, yeah, I would say, you know, Bragazan was probably the least of our problems here. But when you have a makeshift defense and essentially, you know, two homegrowns in there, it's just extremely difficult to have the nous, to have that awareness from all sides of the pitch. And, you know, Luis Abram, while having played better this season, still has a mistake in him, at least in every match. And as well, you know, we know from our wingbacks, they're not the most defensively sound. Pedro Amador, I think, has more bite and more tackling ability than the other side, but it still is, you know, there's a lack of some awareness, maybe a lack of pace at times, especially with Columbus Crew, who were just running us ragged, overrunning us in midfield. Darlington Nagbe at one point stealing the ball off of Miguel Almiron. It's just, yeah, you know, that off of his old teammate. I mean, it's gulfs above, unfortunately, right now. The confidence for Columbus as well. They also, I think, pretty much, I think for 6 games, they did not win a match, but at home, they take care of business, and Lower.com field is still a little bit, you know, kind of a, maybe not House of Horrors, but it definitely is not a playground for Atlanta United, let's say that. But the second half was a little bit better, and yes, we were able to get a goal from Brooks Lennon. Yeah, he did not miss from 2 yards out. It was a ball into the back post by Pedro Amador, and yeah, it was headed into the area where the mixer kind of found Brooks Lennon to be able to slot it away. Unfortunately, yeah, it wasn't immediately called a goal. VAR had to intervene, and yeah, after they came to their senses, it did cross the line that they actually noticed. I guess the you know, goal line technology does not exist in MLS, so yeah, the whole watch buzzing doesn't happen for Major League Soccer games. But yeah, as far as, yeah, just you know, it just seems like we always dig ourselves into a hole. We played pretty much where, well, I don't think we really had a choice, really, because Columbus are the best possession football team in the league. And at that point, yeah, us having the ball was essentially a bit of a pipe dream. And yes, you know, basically, it's too little too late when you don't score first on the road, and Atlanta United just don't do very well when they don't score first. And it's a very damning stat, unfortunately, when that happens. But yeah, it's a winless streak that continues for 3 matches, and yeah, we'll wrap this baby up. We'll just keep it real brief because no need to kind of belabor this. But yeah, the 5 stripes, unfortunately, yeah, or maybe fortunately with this form, Inter Miami, that match that was on Saturday was postponed, and yeah, the next match will be July 5th, Saturday, when they visit DC United in the nation's capital for 4th of July weekend. But let's get into the news. And MLS announced today, unfortunately, maybe not unfortunately, the like aforementioned, that match that was scheduled for Saturday, June 28th has been rescheduled to Saturday, October 11th. That's the week right before decision day, I believe. And because of Inter Miami's advancement in the Club World Cup, which they will be facing PSG, it will be at Chase Stadium on October 11th. But this is the unfortunate. I got a little ahead of myself though. But Atlanta United announced that midfielder Jay Fortune is expected to miss the remainder of the 2025 season after the club was able to confirm an injury, a midfoot sprain in his left foot that will require surgery. And the club will update his return to play timeline after surgery. He suffered the injury with Trinidad and Tobago in Sunday's final group stage match in the CONCACAF Gold Cup against Saudi Arabia. It was a horror tackle. It was not carded. It was absolutely ridiculous. And the fact that, the Saudi Arabia player was able to get away with it is just highway robbery, really. He made his second appearance in the tournament, and then he sustained the injury in the 76th minute. It was, just terrible. But how big of a miss is Jay Fortune in our midfield? I mean, we are severely lacking bodies already. Tristan Muyamba is already missing. And, of course, Mateus Klick can't finish full 90s right now. Bartosz Slisz is kind of suspect in his play. And many have said that Fortune has been our best player this season. But 1 goal, no assists, but an important player in our build-up, as his pass completion and his foray forwards sometimes has been kind of that boon and that shot in the arm that we need. So, we're going to miss his progressive carries upfield as well to get us into the final third. And, that energy, he's not maybe the most defensively sound at this point in his career. More of an interceptions type of guy, but definitely brings the energy and some of that defensive awareness. It's just a very big miss, I feel like. But it does open it up for the likes of Will Riley and possibly, us making another move maybe in the middle of the season to bring in somebody that might be able to, I think, kind of more fit what we need in a sense than maybe what Bartosz Slisz can provide. But so MLS, they have announced the player compensation that the league players have, are going to be compensated this season. And Atlanta United's guaranteed compensation almost doubled from last season. And as well, so there are 28 players that have a total guaranteed compensation of $27.6 million compared to the $15.2 million in October 2024. And it's the third largest payroll in MLS, trailing only Inter Miami and Toronto. So, how is it that high? Well, you have, definitely the likes of Miguel Almiron, who makes $7.871 thousand. So basically $7,871,000. And you also have Emmanuel Latte at $4,030,546. And then, of course, Alexei Miranchuk kind of rounds that out as our other DP. But Miguel Almiron, he is is the highest earner as a newcomer in MLS in 2025. Emmanuel Latte is at 4. Herving Lozano And San Diego is at second with 7.6. Jonathan Bamba in Chicago makes 5.5. Kevin Denke in Cincinnati makes 3.8. Brandon Vasquez, our old friend there, Austin FC, makes 3.5. That I think is interesting because, yeah, an old friend of ours who, old player, old five stripe, and yeah, a player that's we maybe could have kept if we just did not, expose him to the draft there. It would be a different story completely. But it's definitely very, very interesting that our payroll is that high. And as far as kind of the reaction to it, well, first for Emmanuel Latte, 5 goals, 1 assist, a 6.8 xG, with pretty excellent defensive stats actually, comparatively to his kind of striker comparisons, at least according to FB Ref. Making 4 million. Yeah, he hasn't scored in over 2 months, I believe. That part leaves a lot to be desired, but it very much, I feel like, is indicative of our lack of service to him. Oftentimes he has maybe 1 or 2 chances a game, and that's really not enough for strikers sometimes. You kind of want them to have as many chances as possible, and so far it's kind of just been those type of chances that maybe there was that one in the Columbus Crew match that he should have maybe put away, but when you only get a couple of chances a game and you're out of form, you're gonna snatch at it a little bit. And it doesn't seem like he's really underperforming his XG immensely. He is underperforming it, but 5 goals from 6.8 XG. Yes, he probably should be a little closer to maybe 8 or 9 goals, but it is what it is there. But the real thing is Miggy, and yes, him pretty much being 3rd highest paid player in the league. A lot of fans are taking shots at him for that, or at least not happy of that revelation, because 7.8 million up to 8 million in incentives. Basically, 3 goals, 1 assist, 5.55 xG. Underperforming his expectations, his XG. I think maybe at some point earlier in the season, it might have been slightly of a different story where he was on pace to hit his 2018 numbers, but is kind of fell off precipitously off a cliff since we've really been on this slide. So the optics, they don't look great, but it is this that does need to be taken into account. It is the same budget charge as any other DP in the league. And so, ultimately, it really doesn't matter what he's paid to one degree. The other degree is that, yes, him being paid that much, we do pay the highest season tickets prices in the league. Way over the odds, and it is one of those things where that does kind of pay for that. And with Miggy making that much, there is some part of it that fans will feel aggrieved by, that we're paying for kind of at least 3rd best player in the league production, and that clearly isn't the case at the moment. But and so, could we get better performing players at the moment? Yes, absolutely. But I think the problems are way bigger than just the forward play. It's definitely how many goals we are letting opposition score every single match. It seems to be kind of the norm at this moment, unfortunately. Confidence is low. Health is low. The defensive solidity is also low. There's just not a whole lot of continuity within our back line as well, and it's very much either not experienced or defensively suspect players in the back, and that's not helping our build-up. That's not helping us defensively, and also in midfield, we're not shielding that defense either. So it's so many issues with all of that. But yes, Miguel Almiron is fourth actually. He's behind Sergio Busquets. Misspoke there, but either way, fourth best player in the league. At least by those metrics, by what he makes. Should it be that? It should be at least, scrutinized that he's not hitting those marks. And I think that's more on kind of the depth of the team, the players that have been brought in as well around, up and down the roster. And it very much seems like it's kind of, where Miggy, yes, he deserves the criticism. Unfortunately, we don't want to hate on Miggy, but it's not hating per se. It's something that does need to be like, he would probably also kind of put his hand up saying that he needs to be able to produce more for the team and for him to put the ball in the back of the net with more regularity, because it is a team game, but you also want your star players to actually produce what they're being paid for. Otherwise, something needs to be looked at, and they might need to be let go. You have Olivier Giroud, who just came in the same offseason as Emmanuel, Latte, and Miggy, and LAFC and Giroud, they mutually parted ways because he wasn't really performing. And so, now he's going to Lille in Ligue 1. So, I think there is some writing on the wall that, okay, well, if you're going to do that, that's something that's could be done. Obviously, we did pay transfer fees for these players, so that will be something that's, will not be as easy. But on the positive side, slightly, I guess, is that they did, as far as The Athletic, they put out a little kind of the most Pennywise squad, at least the bargain 11, if you will, in MLS. And at goalkeeper, Brad Guzan, he only makes $312,500. Where he's 29th amongst his position. So, he's definitely not being paid like anywhere near a TAM or a DP player. And I think he does outproduce 29th at least. But is it much better than that? Probably not. But anyway, so let's get into the last bit of news. And ex-Aberdeen boss and Atlanta United interim manager or head coach Stephen Glass, he joins Ireland legend Robbie Keane, Robbie Keane, he basically has joined as the head coach of Ferencváros, and it is gonna be kind of where Glass fills out the coaching staff for Robbie Keane. But yes, that is the last bit of news, and yes, pretty much the entire episode except for the question of the day. And the question of the day is, how do you feel about the salary that Miguel Almiron makes? Let us know in the comments below. Looking forward to what you have to say. But guys, that's the episode there and there. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video.